Okay guys, second part of 5.3. I'd show you guys, it's called rationalizing the denominator. What it means is you're not allowed to have a radical, that's a generic term for this symbol, sitting in the bottom of a fraction. To get rid of it, we have to multiply it by something that's worth 1. If I multiply by something that's other than 1, I've changed its value. So what I love on the bottom is the radical to disappear. In order for that to happen, I need the square root of 3 squared on the bottom, so the square cancels the root. To get it to be that, I'm going to multiply by the square root of 3 top and bottom. In other words, this is worth 1. The top is the same as the bottom. The bottom, as you guys I showed you earlier, like you had the square root of 2 times the square root of 18, that becomes the square root of 36. Well, square root of 3 times the square root of 3 becomes the square root of 3 squared. So that's the bottom. The top is just the square root of 3. And you know from what we've just been doing, this is worth 3. So you have the square root of 3 over 3, and that's your final answer. So this one, I'm going to multiply by the square root of 2 over the square root of 2. That's 3 square roots of 2. It does not multiply inside. This becomes the square root of 2 squared. So it becomes 3 square roots of 2 over, and this power cancels that root, 2. The negative 5 on the outside doesn't affect it. It's still a square root of 3 over the square root of 3. I'm multiplying by something that's worth 1. So I have negative 5 square roots of 3 over, and if at any point you guys want me to speed it up, so that's negative 5 square root of 3 over 3. So these just become 3 because it becomes square root of 3 squared. Square root of 10, square root of 10, 5 square roots of 10 over, and you guys okay, that just becomes 10 because it was the square root of 10 squared. So it just becomes 10. Now this has to reduce. So I have square root of 10 over 2. This you multiply by the square root of 3. So these I can combine just like I did up here. So I have the square root of 6 over 3. And you cannot reduce something outside with something inside. Square root of 6. So I have the square root of 30 over 6. Square root of 6. The 5 cannot multiply to the 6 because it's outside. The square root of 6, square root of 6. The 12 and the 6 can't reduce because that's outside and that's inside. 12 square root of 6 over 6. These are both outside, so this can reduce. 2 square roots of 6 would be your final answer. Okay, square root of 5, square root of 5. 4 square roots of 15 over 5. Pick number 4, apologize for that. Square root of 3, square root of 3. 2 square roots of 15 over 3. Now from here on, they're different. Up till now, whatever this number is on the bottom, we've been multiplying it on the bottom and top. These next ones are different in that even if I were to prime factor 6, I get a 2 and a 3. They're both to the first power. So I needed both of them to come out, and I'll explain what I just meant. If I prime factor 8, 2 and 4, 2 and 2, so I get 1 over the square root of 2 cubed. Right now, don't bring anything out. It's not worth your time. I'm going to just do it all at once. If I had a square root of 2 to the 4th power, everything would come out. So how many 2's do I need? Well, I'm missing a single 2. So it becomes square root of 2 over the square root of 2 to the 4th. And what we've been practicing on this, you guys know, that comes out as 2 squared. So here, I didn't multiply by the number on the bottom. I multiplied by what it needed to get the power to be a multiple of the root. Okay, this one, it's the same idea. Oops, I'll just rewrite it. 2 over the square root of 2 cubed. So I multiply, I need one more 2. To make it 2 square roots of 2 over the square root of 2 to the 4th. This becomes 2 to the 4th. When you're multiplying, you add your exponents. This, as you saw in the previous problem, becomes 2 squared, or 4. And then that reduces. So I have the square root of 2 over 2 is your final answer. All right? This is 3 over the square root of 2 cubed. I'm going to multiply by the square root of 2. So I have 3 square roots of 2, and again, slowing it down, 2 to the 4th. So I have 3 square roots of 2 over 2 squared. Now, you guys are welcome to leave it as 2 squared or write it as 4. I don't really have a preference. This is 4 over, whoops, getting carried away. Jumping ahead. 4 over the square root of 2 cubed. So then this becomes times square root of 2. So you have 4 square roots of 2 over 2 squared, which is 4. So that cancels out. So you just get the square root of 2. Now when you have something inside a root and something inside a root, you can reduce it. A 1 is there and a 3 is there. Square root of 1 is 1. Square root of 18 is 3. So here then you'd multiply just by the square root of 3 over the square root of 3. So it's just an old school one that we've been doing for up at the top of the page. Okay, 24. I got to prime factor it. 2 and 12, 2 and 6, 2 and 3. So let me extend this page a little bit. Blink. Alright, so I have 6 over the square root of 2 cubed times 3 to the 1st. Now, I would love it if the bottom was 2 to the 4th, 3 squared, then everything would come out. So I need a single 2 and a single 3. So I'm going to multiply in effect by 6. Whoops, I was thinking it, I'm trying to write 3 and it didn't work. I'm multiplying by the square root of 6, not by the square root of 24. That would be overkill. That's too much. So I have 6 square roots of 6 over this. So 6 square root of 6 over, that comes out as 2 squared. That comes out as 3. Now you're not done. That's 4 times 3, which is 12. 6 square roots of 6 over 12. This reduces. And you have square root of 6 over 2 as your final answer. Alright, that ends this part of the homework. I don't believe there's anything in the next. Nope. So there you go.